morning, everybody. Today is March 2nd, 2020. The stock market seems to be recovering, or maybe it's not recovering in terms of economical situations, because actually there's a lot of things that are being canceled right now. And but the thing is that we have people dying in America, right, from car accidents. I think 30 to 40,000 people a year. The stock market goes up. We have around 30 or 40,000 people dying from the flu in America. Guess what? Tough luck. You know, we're still going up. So we have people dying from cancer also in the tens of thousands of people every year. Guess what? We accepted this loss as a society and pretty much almost don't care about it. The market continues to go up. We have people dying from gun violence also. I think like 30,000 people per year. Hell, we have 1,000 police officers I think being killed as well, a year, but nobody kind of cares, right? Yeah, sometimes we have this pushes in the government trying to restrict gun ownership or restrict how we purchase the guns, but still the stock market goes up. So the question that we have right now is that if the number of deaths is not going to grow exponentially in America, and if we cap at around 30,000 people per year from this virus, then in terms of people, it's not going to be such a great loss to American economy. If you also consider that America performs 700,000 abortions every year, so we're already trying to reduce population and killing 700,000 babies every year, and the stock market goes up. So here it looks like the virus kills the elderly, the weak, people who smoke, people already who were damaging their health by cigarettes or e-cigarettes, but some kind of smoking. So, and the question, the $1 trillion question, because we lost around $4 trillion in 1 week because of this virus. The question is, if we limit the number of deaths and we accept it as just a fact of life, yeah, there's a disease like this that kills people and you don't know who is gonna get it, but most people survive. So if the market accepts this risk, if we get used to this type of news and it's no longer would be the news, then I would say jump into the stock market right now and buy low and sit on it, and we will be making a lot of money. However, the main risk of this disease is that it's not even the death rate. The main risk of this disease is that how quickly it spreads. Like on that ship, 2,000-3,000 people, 500 people infected. Where have you seen such contagious disease, even when everybody was being isolated? And that brings me to another topic, actually. is that just on Friday or Saturday I went with my children to my doctor for vaccines, and the baby is only like almost 2 years old, so he needs to get his vaccines. And he said, we start talking about the flu vaccine, and he said that next September, October, we need to come back and get a flu shot. And I asked him why in September, October, and he said, well, the reason is that the flu also mutates every year. So every year they need to come up with a modified vaccine that would be able to fight the new types of flu that were kind of mutated and start to appear the previous season. So, and then I asked him, what do you think about coronavirus? Do you think we will have a vaccine for that thing by September, October? And he looked at me, he smiled, and he said, look, we all believe that this virus came from a lab, and whoever was developing it was developing a vaccine for it in parallel, because this is usually how the work is being done on any kind of artificial diseases or bioweapon, if you want to say that. But one thing that he pointed out is that, did you notice that we don't have any animals that are infected with this thing? I mean, just a couple of days ago, I read some kind of news that some dog got infected, and people will say, "Oh my God, this thing goes from a person to a dog or to an animal," And they even started to try to pitch those respirators, or basically face masks, but for the dogs, And I said, wait a minute. Didn't they say that this virus came from the animal to the human? And now it cannot go back to from a human to an animal? What kind of virus is that? I mean, if this thing came from the wild nature, right, from wild animals, where are all those infected animals that are dying left and right? They don't have any kind of health care, right? They don't have hospitals where, they're being treated by doctors, right? It's a wild world, but we don't see it. How many of us read that some dogs got infected? Shit, we got 80,000 infected people, and hardly, any kind of animals or domestic animals that were infected, right? Yeah, they were killing them in China, but still, I mean, you can't really trust China with a lot of information nowadays. But in Europe and other places, in America, we don't hear that. So, invest at your own risk. But if you want to know what to buy in the stock market, go to the website, 2stx.com. It will take you to the Apple App Store, where you could download, install, and run my app for 5,000 stocks on your iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV. Thank you for your time, and good luck trading.